Trump.
So how do you think the press, the media and broadcast press, will cover the next election differently than they covered this one? Do you think they've learned anything that they think they can improve upon, or do you think they did a great job and they don't need to make any changes?
Chris, I'll let you take that.
The answer is we'll make mistakes, but we'll make different ones.
Right? So
I think the media could not do a worse job than this year.
because
I mean, I really believe that. I think early on, basically cable news handed over their airwaves to Trump and then begrudgingly added to Bernie and Hillary. So they gave him a free ride for a long time and maybe were not as aggressive in holding his feet to the fire during the primaries and during the debates as they should have. But then the last month or so, it's like watching a badly refereed basketball game where we're seeing make-up calls and we're seeing particularly print going, and I'm not a Trump defender at all, but going after Trump in ways that I think violate every canon of ethics for news reporting.
I completely agree with that. If you read the adjectives, just look at the adjectives in the news stories in the New York Times or the Washington Post. They, you know, one I think today we talked about Trump lurching into something. They just use, but that's a verb. They use adjectives and verbs in a very prejudicial way.
You know, we can all debate the role of the media, and we will. And I think we all need some time to get through this election and then take a look back at it, which I think would be really useful. The one thing I will say about Donald Trump, which I think is a lesson to a lot of people running for office, which is if you make yourself available to the press will interview you. And I recall during the primaries, would Jeb Bush talk to us frequently? The answer is no, because he was behaving like the front runner who didn't have to speak to the media. I mean, you all know this because you're booking people on shows, and the thing that Donald Trump did, which served to his advantage, and this is not to say the press didn't do things that were wrong, but he put himself out there and talked to people, and it was interesting. Right. But now, Donald Trump hasn't had a press conference since, I believe, sometime in July, the end of July, and there was a guy who would talk to the press anytime, all the time. So things shift, and now Hillary Clinton was talking to the press more. So
I would respectfully disagree. I think you could have given every other candidate infusions of sodium pentothal, and many of them would not have gotten coverage. I mean, I think this was about ratings. I think this was about ratings, and it was about who was going to, you know, people allowing him to do phone in. You couldn't phone in, you know, these shows before.
Some of us didn't allow him to phone in.
Well, and good for.
But then Hillary Clinton started to phone in, and
well, then they started allowing her, but because they were allowing him.
If Hillary Clinton is elected, what role will Bill Clinton have in the administration?
The first gentleman.
No, I think he'll. Well, I don't know. I mean, the answer is I don't know. I assume he'll have a substantive policy role, probably not out front, but. You know, he'll be an emissary. She's talked about wanting him to be the emissary to blue-collar America, to I feel your pain, to get that economy going again. Actually, he'd be very effective at that.
West Wing or East Wing office?
Probably both.
Right. Okay.
I'd say if elected, President Hillary Clinton should try to get him a job as a lecturer on a cruise ship that had no telecommunications whatsoever.
So